All right, students, so today we're going to be analyzing one of the most famous Renaissance paintings of all time, The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. This painting was created between 1495 and 1498 and is an excellent example of some very typical Renaissance art techniques. So let's just start off right off the bat. You probably notice the figure of Jesus. Your eyes are probably drawn to him immediately, and that's actually very intentional by the Renaissance artist, in this case Da Vinci. And they do that in a couple of ways. Now, the first way that you probably notice is that he is basically kind of singled out. There's a little bit of space between him and a few of the other people. That's the most obvious way, but actually, Da Vinci also uses mathematics in order to draw your eye to the figure of Jesus in this case. So you'll notice the ceiling. The use of it's called perspective, right? So Da Vinci actually creates lines inside the painting that all converge on what's called the vanishing point. And this draws your eye, or draws your attention to a certain spot in the painting, in this case, Jesus' face. You can see in the ceiling there are lines that all point down to him, and also on the walls of the painting, the lines also converge on Jesus' face. Now, another thing that also helps to draw your eye to the center of the painting, or to draw your eye to a certain spot, is the use of symmetry. You can probably tell that the painting is fairly even on both sides. It's very balanced, and if you were to cut this painting in half, you would have approximately the same amount of action, if you will, on both sides. Another important part of the Renaissance is its focus on a more secular or more worldly type of genre. And in this case, although we do have a religious scene, which is the Last Supper, the individuals are much more normal, if you will. You might recall when we analyzed medieval art, the use of halos around the heads of religious figures. But in this case, you have no halos. And if you didn't know this was the Last Supper, you might just assume that this was a dinner party. So the humanizing of these individuals is a very important theme in the Renaissance. And then finally, you also might notice that that there's the introduction of personality and individuality into these figures. Different ones have different gestures. It seems like a conversation's going on, and this all kind of creates a more human atmosphere, a more relatable atmosphere, which is something that Renaissance artists were trying to create. All right, now let's see what you can do with your own Renaissance art.